Thank you so much, Miss Quintine. It's great to see you all. So my name is Mrs. Ken, and I work at USF, and I've had the pleasure of working with Miss Quintine for many years. And so what I do at USF is basically I help the wonderful teachers like Miss Quintine and other teachers in the community and other community members who are looking for great volunteers. So I help them find great volunteers from USF. So when they're looking for great volunteers, my job is to find the best volunteers possible. So with that being said, today we have Paula, Violetta, and Sarah who'll be teaching you, and they are wonderful USF Health students. We also have with us today Miss Dempsey from the Tampa Fire Rescue, and we also have Miss Barnes from CARD, the USF CARD program. And I also wanted to say I hope you enjoy the lesson about fire safety. And finally, just to let you know, kids, I'm a mom too, and my kids went to school in Hillsborough County. So have a great day, and I'll let our students get started, and Miss Dempsey will get started. Thank you so much.
Hello, boys and girls. I am Miss Patty, and I work for the fire department. Now, I'm not a firefighter because I am a big chicken. I don't like fires, and they scare me, and fire is very scary. So we're going to go over some things today about how to survive a fire. We want you to enjoy the program and see if you learned something.
Hi everyone, I'm Paula, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some key themes. So, some key themes we have are what are emergencies and when to call 911. Firefighters aren't scary, they are friends. If you hear the beep, it's the smoke alarm. Get out, stay out. A fire escape plan slash a meeting place. A stop, drop, and roll. And our last theme is cooking fire safety.
All right, so who knows the emergency phone number? Who will come to help you? Who will come to help you, and who will you call in an emergency? Does anybody know? Okay.
911.
Yes, you're right.
Police.
911.
So you are right. It is 911. And as we go to the next slide, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's see if you all know what an emergency is. So which is an emergency? Is it a cat being stuck in a tree? Is it someone is choking? Or is it I was inside and someone ran over my bike?
Someone is choking.
Someone is choking.
Yeah, because they're gonna die.
Someone is choking.
Someone
Very true, very true.
Sometimes a cat.
You all are right. So firefighters, they're our friends. Because firefighters wear bulky equipment with a nosy, breathy mask, small children are often afraid of firefighters and hide for them. But they are not scary and they're there to help you. If you are ever trapped in a fire, stay low against the wall and call out over here so the firefighters can go ahead and rescue you. Firefighters wear special uniforms to keep them safe. They wear heavy leather gloves to keep their hands and fingers safe. They also wear boots with steel reinforced toes to keep their feet safe. And before they put on their helmet, firefighters put on a hood to keep their neck and ears from scorching. And a firefighting helmet can even cost from $500 to $1,500. The composite material is hard and heavy to keep the head and brain from injury. The visor on the helmet flips down to protect their eyes, and some helmets are equipped with heat-sensing goggles. The firefighter coat and pants are made of heavy fire-resistant material with a thick liner that looks a lot like kitchen hot pads, and the uniform is made to keep them cool. Their face masks attached to an air pack, which is worn on the firefighter's back, and it's filled with compressed air, which will last about 20 minutes when fighting a fire. So these are all parts of a firefighter's uniform that's there to help keep them safe. And it's not there to make them look scary or anything. It's there to help them keep them safe, and that will in turn keep you safe. So a fun fact is that all of this gear weighs about 70 pounds.
Okay, so next we have the smoke alarm. So it's important to remember that if you hear the beep where you sleep. Smoke alarms are like giant noises in the sky installed to sniff out smoke and fire. They will make a loud beep 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 noise when they smell trouble. Smoke alarms should be in every bedroom, on every level of the home, and in even the common and living rooms. It's always important to test all smoke alarms monthly to ensure they are working. Here's another nice little picture. When you hear the beep, 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 get out and stay out. Never go back inside for any toys or personal belongings. Here's a fun fact for you guys. 9 out of 10 people who go back into a fire will die.
So boys and girls, I've been given the authority by the fire marshal to make you deputy fire marshals just for today. So if you would all help me and raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will try
I will try
to do my best
to do my best
as a deputy fire marshal.
deputy fire marshal.
That's very important. Thank you, boys and girls. Now here's your assignment, because you have a job to do as a deputy fire marshal. I want you to go home and you're gonna hug mom or you're gonna bug mom. Now, you're gonna ask mom, do we have a smoke alarm? And if you do, you're gonna hug mom. But if you don't, I want you to bug mom. Mama, we've got to have a smoke alarm. We've got to have one. We can get one for free. We can get one. Please, mom, let's get a smoke. We don't need to sleep in this house. We don't have smoke alarms. So you think you can do that? I think you can.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing, there's two things. If you do have a smoke alarm, you're going to hug mom or bug mom, because you're going to say, Mama, let's test the smoke alarm. Let's make sure it works. Oh, you may not live with mom. You may live with Aunt Lucy, or you may live with grandmama. Whoever you live with, I want you to hug them or bug them. And so they're going to test the smoke alarm. So you get a broom handle, because they're really way up high, and you push the button with the broom handle until it screeches. And if it doesn't make a noise, it's no good. So if it does make a noise, you're going to hug mom or Aunt Lucy or whoever it is, or you're going to bug them and say, we've got to go get some batteries. We can get them. We can call about them. We can get them today. And your assignment again is to hug mom or bug mom as a deputy fire marshal.
All right, guys, and once we're finished hugging or bugging our moms or whoever we live with, we're also going to grab our family and we're going to create a fire escape plan. So what a fire escape plan is to create a map of your home and labeling 2 areas that you can get out quickly and safely. So we have an example here. This one has 2 areas in the yellow, and then there's also going to be a meeting spot that you will all meet at once you're finished exiting the home. And that's to ensure that everybody in your family, if you have big families, that they all get out of the house safely and you can account for everyone in your family. And then after you create that fire escape plan, you're going to practice it with your family also. It only takes a few minutes to do, and it's easier that way. So if there ever is an off chance where you do have a fire, you're not freaking out and don't know what to do, and you've practiced it once, and you'll be able to, as a deputy marshal, you'll be able to tell your family, I remember how to do this. We created this plan, and I'll show you the way. Let's go, mom and dad. And on the next slide, I have an example of my own. I live in a very small apartment, so I only really do have one exit, but remember, you should have at least 2 exits. So I would exit out of my bedroom and then out the front door. And I'm very lucky that my apartment is right next to the stairwell. So I have the quickest, most effective way to get out of the house. And then our meeting spot happens to be a palm tree because it's a really big palm tree right outside. And just in case that I'm in different areas than my roommate, we both know we're going to meet at the palm tree and we can account for each other there. And now to my favorite part, which is working in the kitchen because I love food. Raise your hand if you love food. Okay, does anybody, now raise your hand also if you either help your parents or your family cook, or if you maybe cook for yourself or brother and sister. Anybody cook for themselves or brother and sister? Not yet? Okay, well, some of you who do and some of you who don't, once you start, or maybe even if you're watching your family cook, you know some of the tips that they might not be aware of. So for one, we're going to start with when we're cooking, we always want to stay inside the kitchen when we're cooking, because if something were to happen, you'll be able to see it first and exit if you need to, or put the fire out if we need to. And we're always going to make sure that we wear clothes that don't, like if you wear a shirt that's really long, it can get attached to the handle of the pot that's on the stove and it can knock it over, or it can even get oil on there, very hot oil, easily because it's just flowing around.
It could burn you.
Exactly, yes, good, it can burn you. And that's, has anybody been burnt before by something hot? Okay, well, some haven't, some haven't. It is not good. You too? Yes, it hurts for a while. So we want to make sure that we don't do that with our clothes. And then for either your brother or sisters, you guys are kind of old enough now to not be, too close to running around, but just in case if we're ever playing outside, or even if we're playing in the kitchen where we're not supposed to, you always want to make sure you keep at least 3 feet away from any of the stoves or the grills. That way none of the heat can be exposed to you and we don't get burned. Okay. And then another tip that I always forget when I get home, or when maybe mom and dad get home or whoever, we put our groceries down on the stove or anywhere around the kitchen. And then when we start cooking, we might forget to move everything aside, especially when we're busy and we've got a lot of stuff going on. We want to make sure that we clear all of our area around the stove. That way there's no paper towels or any of those groceries that could potentially get caught on fire if we turn the stove on. Now, if this happens, if we do have a fire in the oven, and if it's just a small fire, we want to make sure that we don't open up the oven door. Once you open up that door, it can create even bigger flames and create a bigger fire. So the best thing to do is to keep the door closed, turn the oven off, and make sure that everything simmers down first. Now, if that doesn't happen and you see fires start coming out of the oven, we want to make sure that we yell to everyone in the house, there's a fire, we need to get out and stay out. If you see that fire, leave the building. Don't try to take it out yourself because it can potentially create a bigger fire. So make sure you get everybody in the family, practice your escape plan and your fire alarm. And since you have a working fire alarm, or you'll be able to get one after this, you'll be able to stay out, get out, and then never go back inside, like Paula was saying, for any of your toys, because it's not worth hurting yourself or your family.
But you have to get your pets.
That's your family, absolutely. We're gonna make sure that we're mom and dad, notify them, but run out. The best thing to do is run out and get out. But if your parents are notified or whoever's watching you, make sure that your family is also. Yes, Patricia?
The pets will probably find their own way out because they are smarter than we are because they have better noses. And so they will know it's dangerous and get out. If they don't, or if it's a bird or something that can't get out, you tell the firefighter, okay? And they will go in and get it. They're ready to do that, but you should not go back in. You don't have all that equipment on, and you better let them help you.
Yes, thank you, Patricia. And then lastly, some of the main causes of fires are also if we have any of our plugs that aren't plugged directly into the outlet. So that's something if you see in your own kitchen, you can notify your parents to make sure that that plug is in the wall and not attached to an extension cord. Lastly, we want to make sure that besides cleaning out the area, we want to make sure that the inside is clean also. So before turning on any of your appliances or making your toast or even in your microwave, we want to make sure that everything inside is cleaned before, because just like your food will cook, that will also cook. But if it's been sitting there for a while and it's very old, it has a potential to create a fire before your food even cooks. So make sure that we're always cleaning out all of our toasters and our microwaves and our ovens, and also help out mom and dad.
Okay, so next we have I guess a fun little way of remembering how to not catch on fire. So it's gonna be stop, drop, and roll, just how the little Dalmatian is doing here. So stop, drop, and roll is a fire safety practice used when you or your clothes might be catching on fire. You immediately want to do this because if not, you guys will get burns. And as Sarah mentioned, we don't like burns. It's important that you don't run or panic, as this will cause the flames to grow. Instead, you want to stop moving, drop to the ground, and roll back and forth while covering your face with your hands. This will make sure you guys are safe and won't get burned.
And I want to say one more thing about stop, drop, and roll. That's if your clothes are on fire. Sometimes even grown-ups give the wrong answer. If I ask, what do you do if the house is on fire? They will say, stop, drop, and roll. No, you don't want to be rolling around in a burning house. You want to get out and stay out. So just remember, if it's a burning house, you get out. If you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. Next slide. Okay, I want to tell you one more thing about fire safety. The FBI, you know who they are, they're federal police agency kind of things, tell us that over half of all arsons are done by kids 17 and under. Over half of all the fires. And what that means is some kids like to play with matches and lighters. You can actually get arrested for setting fires and put in juvie as young as 8 years old. Fires hurt. They burn very badly. So setting fires is not fun, and it's really not funny. It's really just kind of stupid because you could hurt yourself or your property, all your toys, everything, or grandma, she might be in the house. So we don't play with matches and lighters. We just don't.
Leave them be.
Well, can you still light a candle though?
And what's your question again?
Can you still light a candle?
He's asking about lighting candles, Miss Dempsey.
Boys and girls should not play with matches and lighters unless their parents are there and watching and supervising. Never by yourselves.
And later today, kids, your teacher will share with you, it might be today or later, your teacher will share with you the book called Impatient Pamela Calls 911. It's a video that you guys will get a chance to watch on your own. And we just want to thank you for allowing us to share with you in your class today. Again, it's the USF Student Service Corps. It's the Tampa Fire Rescue, Fire Prevention Public Education Office, and the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities at USF. We just want to say thank you. And also, do you have any additional questions? We have like 3 minutes left. Camilla, you have a question?
No, but I wanted to add on, if you're sleeping in the middle of the night and your parents are cooking something and then it all of a sudden start a fire, you should always have the doors closed because then it can give you time to escape.
Very good.
And Camilla, do you know how to get out of a burning building?
No.
You don't know how? You crawl.
No, but I seen videos.
You crawl against the wall. Fall and crawl against the wall.
Luckily, I'm small.
And that's good. Yeah, but, and if the firefighters come in, you holler, I'm over here, I'm over here. And they'll save you.
Yeah, and escape anyway, because even right here, there's a door.
Well, you
right
can
here
get out.
that leads to outside.
Yeah. Thank you, Camilla. We have a couple other questions I want to try to get to real quick. Charles Reeves.
Yeah. What if you're like 10 or 12 and like you're trying to learn how to cook and like your parent is helping you or something, but you accidentally start a fire?
Well, are you concerned about being arrested? The 12-year-old and 8-year-old issue?
No, I'm not really concerned. I just want to know what happens if you were to
Well,
accidentally.
what happens is that you and your family get out and you call 911 and the fire department comes and they put the fire out. Now, for every house fire, there's a group of policemen that are also firefighters. They go in and they look at the fire and they decide how it started. And of course, they interview everybody and they decide if it was an accident or if it was intentional. And so usually there's no penalty. You don't go get arrested. But I do have a program called Juvenile Fire Setters, and it's about fire survival and fire prevention. So you can come to my class and we'll talk about all kinds of things, more than I'm here in a deeper amount, and we'll talk about how to prevent fire.
Okay. Well, it's now 11:25, and unfortunately, we won't make it to any other questions. We just want to thank you and hope that you've learned something valuable today. Have a great one, students.
You too. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and log off, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Go.
I didn't realize I was muted at the beginning of this one.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Are the students here?
Not yet.
Okay, good. How did it go?
I think it went well.
Great. Okay, good. Yeah, we've been running, Ms. Quintine and I have been literally running back and forth between rooms. Because we have 8 sessions. But I'm back with you now, and I'll be back, Denise, with you for the next session with the poison safety, which will be at 11.
Ellen, I'm gonna put into the chat Patricia's bio, because it's in the notes of the PowerPoint, but you can't see that.
Okay.
Only I can see that since you're doing introductions.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm gonna make it real quick. But we're good, so I just want to let you know.
All right. I've got a couple of people in the waiting room. Let me just, thank you, Zachary. You want to say hi? Can you wave hello?
Hi, Zachary.
Hi, Zachary.
Perfect. All right, ladies.
Hey
we have
there,
our
Zach.
first
I like your
graders here.
mask.
She said, I like your mask. What do you say?
Fantastic. So do we have all of your first graders now, Miss Quintine?
We're all here, Miss Kent.
Okay, we will get the show on the road. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today, first graders? You're all doing great? Good.
Yes. I was on mute. I'm sorry. They said yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for welcoming us, Ms.
Yes.
Smith and Ms. Quintine. So we're from USF, and I'm going to just do a very quick introduction. My name is Mrs. Kent, and I coordinate the USF Health Service Corps at USF. And before I even explain that, I just want to let you know, kids, that I'm a mom too. So we have, my husband and I have 2 kids, and they went all the way from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade in the Hillsborough County schools. So you know what? By the time you get to next year, you'll be really good at counting. But basically, they both went through 12 years of school plus kindergarten, so that's 13 for each kid, times 2 is 26 years. So we've been through 26 years of Hillsborough schools, and I can tell you they're great. So you're going to really enjoy going to school in our county, and you've got great teachers. And today, what we're doing is I'm bringing to you some great students named Sarah, Violetta, and Paula, and they are college students at USF.
Friends, I should be here. Chikai. Come on.
And they're going to share with you everything about fire safety. They're going to teach you about fire safety, and they're also going to have some help from an expert with the Tampa Fire Rescue, and her name is Miss Dempsey. And then you're also going to have a wonderful partner with you, Miss Barnes, who's from CARD at USF. So with that being started, I'm going to let them take over. And I think you're going to all have a great time. Thank you so much, students, Miss Dempsey and Miss Barnes.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Miss Patty with the fire department. And I'm not a firefighter because I'm a big chicken. I couldn't do what the firefighters do. But I'm a teacher, and I get to teach boys and girls like you all the way up, or even teeny tiny kids, not big as you, all the way up to grandmas and grandpas, or great grandmas and grandpas, about safety, fire prevention, and how to keep from getting hurt. And today we're going to be looking at a PowerPoint and see lots of interesting things that you may not know, or maybe you do know already, but it's a good idea to help remember it, to see it again, because fires they hurt, they can burn. We don't want you to get hurt. So enjoy.
And as Ms. Ken said, we just want to thank you from CARD for allowing us to be here and share in this presentation to you. And CARD stands for the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities at USF.
Hi everyone, so here are some key themes that you guys are going to see today throughout the presentation. So first we have what are emergencies and when to call 911. Then it's important to remember that firefighters aren't scary, they are our friends. If you hear the beep, that's the smoke alarm. When there's a fire, get out, stay out. Make sure to have a fire escape plan and meeting place, a stop, drop, and roll, and some cooking fire safety.
All right, hi everyone. So I have a question for you all. So first, who knows the emergency phone number? Does anybody know? Anyone have any guesses? All right, so the answer for this question is 911. 911 is the emergency phone number. And when you call that, that will bring the fire department, the rescue vehicle, the police department, whatever it is that you need for the situation that you're in. So here's another question. Which is an emergency? A cat in a tree, someone is choking, or I was inside and someone ran over my bike? Does anybody have any guesses? All right, so the answer here is someone is choking. This is an emergency. So firefighters are our friends. Because firefighters wear bulky equipment with a nosy, breathy mask, Small children are often afraid of the firefighters and hide from them. If you're ever trapped in a fire, stay low against the wall and call out over here so the firefighters can find you. So firefighters wear special uniforms to keep them safe. And although some might think that they look a little scary, this is all to help them keep them safe. And if they're safe, they can keep you safe. So we're going to go over some of the parts of their uniform. So the first thing is that they wear heavy leather gloves to keep their fingers and hands safe. And they also wear boots with steel reinforced toes to help keep their feet safe. And then before they put on their helmet, firefighters put on a hood to keep their neck and ears from scorching. And they also wear a helmet. The visor on the helmet flips down to protect their eyes. And some helmets are equipped with heat sensing goggles. A firefighting helmet can cost from $500 to $1,500. And the composite material is hard and heavy to keep the head and brain from injury. So the firefighter coat and pants are made of heavy fire-resistant material with a thick liner that looks like kitchen hot pads. The uniform is made to keep them cool. And the face mask is attached to an air pack, which is worn on the firefighter's back and filled with compressed air, which will last about 20 minutes when fighting a fire. And a fun fact is that all of this gear weighs about 70 pounds. So firefighters are pretty strong to be carrying all that weight around them.
So next we have the smoke alarm. Hear the beep where you sleep. So smoke alarms are like giant noises that are in the sky installed to sniff out smoke and fire. So whenever these smoke alarms sense that there's smoke in the air, they're going to make a loud beep, beep, beep. And that's when there usually is some type of trouble. It's important that you have a smoke alarm in all of your bedrooms, in every level, and even in the common and living rooms. Also, what's important is to make sure that all your smoke alarms are actually working and that they don't need new batteries. So remember, when you hear beep, 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 get out and stay out. Never go back inside. 9 out of 10 people who go back inside sadly will die.
Okay, boys and girls, I have been authorized by the fire marshal to make you deputy fire marshals today. So it's a very important job. You're going to be an officer in your home for fire safety. So I want you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I will do my best to do my job as the deputy fire marshal. So what's your job? What are you going to do? Well, you're going to hug mom or you're going to bug mom. I want you to go home and talk to mom or whoever you stay with. It could be grandmama, it could be Aunt Lucy, it could be somebody. But you're going to ask them, do we have smoke alarms? And if you do, you're going to hug mom. You're just going to hug and say, oh, thank you, we're safe, we're safe. We will know if the fire comes, we'll be able to, we'll know to get out if there's a fire. But if there are no smoke alarms, I want you to bug mom. Mama, we've got to go get a smoke alarm. We got to call. They have them for free at the fire department. Let's bug mama. Just bug mama until you get that smoke alarm. Now, second thing, if you do have one, I want you to ask mama, hug her, to test the smoke alarm. Get a broomstick or a mop handle and push that button because they're way up high and hold it in and keep holding it until it screeches. It screams at you. If it makes a noise, then you know it's working. So you're going to hug mama. Yes, we're safe. We're safe. If it doesn't make that noise, you're going to bug mama. Mama, we got to have new batteries. Let's call the fire department. We can go down there and get some batteries. We've got to have batteries. We don't want to sleep here without smoke alarms. So you're going to hug mama or bug mama as your new job as the deputy fire marshal.
Okay, so after we are done bugging or hugging mom or whoever in our family, we're gonna gather them and create a fire escape plan. So what a fire escape plan is, you're gonna draw your house and you're gonna label all the areas that you can leave safely and quickly if there were a fire to happen. And then after you're done making that fire escape plan, you're gonna get with your family and you're gonna ask them if we can practice a fire drill. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna test your fire alarm by picking up a broom and hitting up the button. You'll ask your family to help you with that, and you'll have that screech go off so you make sure it's working. And then someone, probably could be you, it'd be fun, is you'll make the sound of the fire alarm. So we're gonna go beep, 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 and then everyone's gonna get ready to do their fire drill. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna make sure you tell everybody, you yell it out loud, fire, and we're gonna get down on our knees and we're gonna crawl close to the wall, and you're gonna remember where your exits are since you drew them, and you're all gonna exit out safely and quickly. And we're never gonna go back inside for anything because it could be dangerous, and you'll always just ask the firemen to, whatever you need to go back in there to get if you have a pet. And then here's my example that I drew of my apartment. Now it's very small, so I do only have one area that I could leave. But if you see right after the front door, I have some stairs there, and that's a best way to get down and out of the house. If you also live in an apartment or a building where there's stairs or an elevator, you always want to make sure that your family takes the stairs instead of the elevator, because the elevator will not work. It'd be unsafe to stay inside the elevator when there's a fire. And then you want to create a meeting spot after you get outside for all of your family. If you have a big family, or even if it's just a couple of you in the house, you want to create a meeting spot so that you know where everyone is at and that everyone is accounted for in your family. Now, can anybody raise their hand if they love food? Now, does anybody ever help their family or watch mom and dad cook? So when we're doing that, we want to make sure that we're following all the safety measures so that we don't have any fires. And the first thing we want to do is make sure that there's always somebody in the kitchen who is cooking, watching the food cook. You never want to walk away when there is water boiling on the stove, or if we have anything cooking, because anything can spark a fire, and we want to make sure that you see it when it happens so that you can get out quickly and be safe. And then if we're cooking or helping out, we want to make sure that we're wearing tight fitted clothes. That way the oil that you're cooking with or anything you're cooking with doesn't get on you and then stick to you, and then you get burnt, because we don't like getting burnt. And a good thing to keep in mind if we are playing outside or playing in the kitchen is to always stay within at least 3 feet from wherever the cooking is, so the grill or the stove. And if we're helping with our brothers and sisters, we want to make sure that we're not holding them near any of the cooking appliances. Now, if we are about to cook or we're helping mom cook, we want to make sure we tell them to clean everywhere around your stove or your oven so that there is nothing around it that could potentially spark flame and create a fire. And then after cleaning on top, we also want to make sure that the inside is clean, because then we could start a fire in the inside of the oven. And if that happens on the inside of the oven, we want to make sure that we keep the door closed and we let it cool down before we try to open it, because opening it could create an even bigger fire. And if we do have flames that escape the oven, we want to make sure we immediately get out of the house and stay out. You'll follow your fire escape plan that you made. You'll know how to call 911 now and who to call, and then you'll stay out and meet at your meeting spot. Couple of tips to look out for if we are around the kitchen. If you have a wire that is not plugged directly into the outlet that is on the wall, and we want to make sure that we have our family help us with that so that we don't mess with any wires that we're not allowed to. But you ask mom and dad to make sure that there's no extension cords that we're using and that it's directly plugged into the wall. And again, just making sure everything is clean and tidy before we start cooking. That way none of the crumbs inside of the toaster or inside of the oven can catch flames. So if we're helping mom cook, we just make sure that we clean everything out beforehand and remind them to.
So next we have this fun little phrase set, which is stop, drop, and roll. So you want to stop, drop, and roll whenever your clothes are on fire. You don't want to run or panic, as this can make the flames grow even more. So instead, you should want to follow the little Dalmatian dog here, which is a firefighter, and you want to stop, drop, and roll. And make sure you're covering your face with your hands while you're doing this too.
Oh, boys and girls. Also a stop, drop, and roll. I want you to realize this means if your clothes are on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. If the house is on fire, get out. Get out and stay out. You don't want to be rolling around in a fire if the house is on fire. No, get out, crawl out, fall and crawl against the wall and get out of the building. Now, one more thing. Firefighters have told us they've sent information to the FBI, and they tell us that over half of all the fires set are done by kids 17 and under. So boys and girls, we never touch matches. We don't even touch them. Would you touch a gun? No, you would never touch a gun because you know you could be hurt. But did you know matches and lighters are more dangerous than a gun? Yes, they are, because one gun with one bullet could hurt one person, but one match or lighter could burn down the whole building and hurt everyone in it. So we never touch matches and lighters. If you do find them, go tell a grown-up and they will take care of them, but we never touch and we never play with them. They are tools for grown-ups, not toys for kids. If your parents want to get the smoke alarms, make sure you have them call 274-7000. Teachers, take that down so the kids can take that information home, please.
So quickly, we just want to share that you can get information about CARD at CARD USF online. Also, your teacher will share a video with you later called Inpatient Pamela Calls 911. It's a great video to watch to learn the tools and the tips that you learned today. And we just want to thank you again. And this is USF Health Student Service Corps, as well as the Tampa Fire Rescue Prevention, Fire Prevention Public Education Office, and the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities at USF. Have a great day.
Thank you, and I think we should give our students a great big hand of applause. Thank you, everyone, so much. Great job.
Thank you all. See you all in the next room.
Thank you, Sarah, Paula, and Violetta. You did fantastic. Photos to follow. Have a great day. Thank you, Miss Dempsey, so much.
Bye-bye.
So now I think you're all set, Paula and Sarah and Violetta, and I'll send you the pictures tonight. And then the poison safety students are going to hop in.
In this same room, or is it a different
In the same
link?
room. They're already here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You did a great job, Paula and Sarah and Violetta. And Miss Dempsey, thank you again for your enthusiasm. And thank you for running the show, Denise. And we're going to get started now with our poison safety.
Give me a second. I gotta.
No problem.
I'll get it together.
You're doing wonderful. Don't worry. And by the way, it's the USF Health Service Corps. Thank you so much. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Naz. How are you today?
Hi.
Great. We got it to work. So I'm going to be with you with your group.
Thank you, ladies.
So, Miss Quintine, we're almost there.
Oops, sorry, Ellen. Hold on, my sound is off.
No, I
So
can hear
sorry.
you. You are great. We're doing it. We are such a team, right?
Yes, the fourth graders are here. Are we ready?
Great.
So sorry, I'm running all around the building today,
Oh, I
guys.
know. And I'll do the quick intro and then I'll stay with them and then I'll go to the other one.
Perfect. Let me hit record. Oh, it's still recording. Look at that.
Whoops.
That's all right.